Hello and welcome to Jamie's Motion Graphics, episode 54. Today we're making this. The effect I'm explaining today can be used in several different ways. I'm just going to explain to you how it works and you can make up for yourself what you're going to do with it. Anyway, enjoy! Okay, here we are in After Effects. As you can see, I already did something. This is Hobo Standard as a font, by the way. And what I did before we are going to start here is I made well, copy of the text it seems like, but it actually is a bunch of masks. And the masks actually, well, just traced the text and made sure that I have a nice layer. The advantage of this is, of course, that we can use the mask expansion here to do this and make the text smaller. So we're going to use that to create kind of a nice text effect, and yeah, I don't know exactly what else we're going to do, but for now this is going to be our comp 1. We're going to rename that to text, and I'm going to hide the bottom text because we're not going to use that. We're only going to use the traced text, and then we're going to go into a new composition and it's going to be whatever. Yeah, comp 1 is going to, or sorry, the text is going to be into comp 1. And we're going to color this text, or make sure that it comes on part by part. And as we will see here, the text doesn't have a background, so that is excellent, which means that wherever we place our mask, there will be no overlap. So first we have to figure out how we want our text to appear. Do we want them to appear like yeah, one letter at a time, maybe wipe it, things like that. Currently I'm thinking, well, let's just make something, hang on, we do want kind of a flow to it. I'm going to make 4 points here, and we're going to make it in this way. I am going to duplicate this layer, but without the mask. So I'm going to delete the mask on this and set the transparency to a little bit higher, or the opacity to a little bit lower. And that way, when I reveal the text now, it will show up, but it won't be obvious that I'm, or well, no, it will be more obvious where the text is. So, well, not only more obvious, I will actually be able to see it. So yeah, we're going to go back to our previous one, and we're going to go to the mask path. I'm going to position it just on the bottom of our T. I'm going to go up and then to the sides, both sides at the same time, and then we're going to move on to the E, probably do something like this, and then the X is probably going to be something like this, and then the T is probably going to be like from bottom to top or something like that. I don't know, hang on. No, there is no way to actually make this like a nice flow. You can of course do separate things. You can also wipe it on like one layer at a time from left to right all the time. Or, well, kind of in a snake-like pattern. But yeah, you can do whatever you want. The thing is, it's just a technique that I'm showing you. I'm not showing you how to make this certain thing, a certain animation. You can make up your own mind. At least I hope so. Because otherwise, I think there's a few more tutorials you need to have a look at first. Anyhow, we're going to start at ½ second. So at ½ second, our mask path is right here. And we're going to use this mask path to just creep in a little bit. So this is our starting position. And then at, let's say, I don't know how long it should take to make the entire letter. Let's make it 2 seconds for now. So at 2½ seconds, that's 2:15 there, because I have 30 frames per second. At that point, we should actually be at the maximum height. Well, not only that, we should be there a lot earlier, actually. I think at 2 seconds, we should be at the maximum height. So let's do that first. I do have that selected, so yeah, it kind of bugged on me a little bit. So we should be over there. This one should be here. right next to it, and this one maybe, well, this one should be on the bottom, a little bit wider. Obviously it needs to incorporate the entire letter, and here we are with the other one. You may want to add some more points to it to make this well, this a little bit smoother, but for now I think this will look just fine. Hang on, I'm trying to match the letter a little bit more, and I'm going to do the same here. Only in the top part, it doesn't matter what it looks like in the bottom part. And let's make it something like this. Hang on. Something like this. So this one should be up here somewhere. And without the mask, it will look like this. So the animation will look something like this. For now, yeah, it's kind of crappy, but that's the way it is because, well, first draft, let's call it. First of all, we're going to go to about the halfway point. So we're currently between half and half a second and 2 seconds. So we're going to go to 107. It doesn't actually matter where we are, as long as we are kind of in the middle somewhere, and we're going to just reposition these things so that they are in the position where we would like them to be without changing too much. So I'm trying to keep the horizontal, or the vertical spacing the same, not the horizontal one. So as you can see now, it looks a lot better. It's not great, but at least it doesn't overlap the letter. I need to make sure that it doesn't overlap the letter here. So although it probably doesn't, I'm still going to adjust it a little bit to make sure that there's plenty of space there. And then look between the 2 points, because if you change something, everything behind it and in front of it will change. So yeah, you do need to check that. And here, yeah, we kind of have a problem on the right side. So the left side here works fine. As you will see, it moves up in one smooth motion. This one, however, goes from the right to the left, which means that, and there you can see it, so especially here, and that means that kind of part of the letter gets decolorized, which is not something you want. We want this to be, so from the point where it hits, this is where it needs to keep, well, keep going, keep being colored. So at this point we're going to put a keyframe, and then we're going to go over here. Let's see, it's there. Let's see if we can actually fit that a little bit better to make sure that it does that. Yeah, I do not like this too much, but okay. It seems that that part is now okay. Now we need to fix the top part, because the top part has a similar problem. But yeah, it kind of screwed up my my other part now. Let's see. So yeah, the top part is still a problem. I'm going to just tune this down a little bit. Well, actually quite a lot. And we're going to see it hits here, and then it stays on that point, or just about stays there. It doesn't have to be perfect, as long as it's good enough. So at this point, we have half a second left to fill out the left and right side. We're going to do that simultaneously, so we're just going to put it over here, put this to be bigger, and now we can be as big as we want, because we have to refill the entire letter anyway, so might as well. So let's see what that looks like then. It just moves out, moves out, moves out. Both of them look fine. This one could do with a little tune-up to be a little bit lower, and then like that, but I don't think it really matters too much. Okay, let's say this is the T. Then we go on to the E. Yeah, eventually you won't see this, of course. So it will just show up out of nowhere. And we're going to do a secondary one. So second mask. And this mask is going to be starting from, let's say, here. Yeah, let's just make some random 4 points, all of which have handles, of course. And that one is going to start a little bit later. So let's say at 3 seconds. So at 3 seconds, this one is going to have a mask path. And then we're going to just edit it. So here it took, so in the first one, it took 2 seconds to make the entire letter. Let's make that here as well. So at 5 seconds, it needs to be completely done. And I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but this one is going to have to be over here somewhere. No, I don't know. I really don't know. But let's just set it up so the way that I think it should go. But this is going to require more than one mask, I have to feel. But yeah, let's see how it all goes. You can actually do quite a lot with 4 points if you know how to use them. And we're going to try to make the most out of it. So currently it's not entirely revealed. I'm not expecting it to. I just want to mark it on the timeline. So anyhow, so the first second it should go from here to about here, and then the second, no, to about here, I guess. And then the second it should go over here. So it needs to end up over here at times 1 second, which means that this should be like this. And if you're having trouble lining these up exactly, well, I'm not going to bother, but you can go to the Convert Vertex tool and then convert them like this. And now it should fold the way it's supposed to. There you go. And you can use it like that. So obviously these are broken because of the way well, I use them, or I go from this place to this place first. And that means that if I want to now change in the middle of this, then yeah, it doesn't really know what I want, and it kind of breaks because of that. So it kind of thinks that I want this thing to be kept like this, and the other one to be kept the way it was, but in fact I just want it to be normal, which apparently is not normal. But anyhow, let's set this up. This one should cross over right here, so right there. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, obviously. This point, keeping that is going to be a problem. So yeah, also this is nowhere near what we would like it to be, because this is a very strange letter, and this one needs to go over here. So yeah, I'm just trying to create some kind of flow in this letter. It seems that it really doesn't want me to. No, it doesn't really care, but it also doesn't understand what I'm trying to do, obviously. So for now, let's just see what we can make of it. So halfway through, let's put this in the middle here, this one in the bottom. Stop doing that. So that we have the entire letter. There you go. So now about halfway between these two. Let's set it up so that it's in the right position again. And now this should be fine. So yeah, these are linear movements between the 2 points every time. but if you just adjust them in the right spots, it looks like they curve. Technically speaking, circular movements are linear movements, so we should be able to manage. So yeah, at this point I'm not going to bother too much with it for now. We're going to fix that afterwards. So at the 1 second mark here, so 1 second in, it's currently over here, which should be fine. So here, this point is in the right spot. We're now going to fix that spot, I guess. We have to do it at some point, so might as well do it now. Let's see if it keeps the point. Yeah, up until here it's fine. And then before, yeah, well, before this, right here, this I guess needs to be over here somewhere, maybe a little bit smaller. Let's see if we can adjust it in such a way that it actually fits nicely. Okay, that seems okay. At this point, I'm going to just delete this last point. This is our first mask. It masks about half the letter. And now we're going to just add a second mask on the same letter, just to make sure that, well, everything goes the way I want it to. Let's start by making 4 points. And this mask should be in the black zone, so like it is now, because it shouldn't do anything up until the point where it's actually needed, which is right here. So up until this point, it needs to be in the black zone. Then you go 1 frame forward, and then all of a sudden it moves over here. And we're going to set it up so that it actually kind of fits in with the old one. You can overlap as much as you want in the bottom part, of course, because the mask already reveals everything there. And here we're going to just set it up so that it's kind of looks like it's supposed to be here. Okay, I'm currently setting it up the way that, well, the to actually match the old mask as much as possible. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually move these forward. So now it's gone, and then the last moment, so the last tick of this thing, it will actually come in and just be on the same spot. Now we're going to go forward. We know that right here we need to finish the entire thing, which means halfway through that's right here. We need to be over here somewhere. So this one, oh, lock the other mask, the mask you're done with, so that you can't accidentally, yeah, do that. I don't know how I managed to pick them up if they're locked, but sure. Yeah, okay, mask number 3 then. Let's go. Halfway through, we need to be over here, and the alignment needs to be something like this. And this one needs to be something like this. Right there. And this one seems to be fine. Let's move it up a little so we can make some more creative, yeah, well, arcs. I don't know. Something like this. Seems fine. So about halfway through, as you can see, it's not doing too well. We need to be about halfway through. So we need to be about right here. I'm trying to keep this point on the middle, and the other 2 points just to well, to make it somewhat more interesting. I like to have these corners rounded a little, so yeah, you can do, of course, whatever you want. So in this way, it actually looks not too bad. So you can see that there's a lot of rounding going on, and on here it's kind of super straight. That's because I made these a little bit too big. Oh. Misclicked apparently. So yeah, right about there. And then at the 5-second mark, as I said, it needs to be over here. And it needs to be like this. And the entire thing needs to be covered. So obviously this one can just move over here by now. And this one needs to cover the entire letter on the top side. Well, not on its own, but pretty much on its own. And it should look something like this, only then covering everything. So yeah, this line is now, this handle I should say, is now a little bit big, but that's because we need to make sure that we actually cover everything. So currently it looks like this, which is complete crap, of course. So we need to fix that by going to about halfway, making sure that everything that needs to be covered is actually covered. So this should go over here somewhere. Let's say over here. This one could just go over here. It doesn't really matter. This one can go over here. Doesn't really matter either. And this one needs to be a little bit smaller to make sure we get that nice circle effect or rounded effect right there. So I'm going to just play around a little bit with the handles to make sure that I get some nice rounding going off over here. And since it doesn't matter where you place the other points, well, it does matter, of course, for the shape of the mask, but the shape of the mask doesn't really matter. As long as everything is covered, and it's not currently, because here you can see we have a few issues. And this one needs to be over here. So yeah, because this is a kind of a nasty letter, we do have to adjust it a little bit, but it should be fine. Yeah, try to align this with the shape of, well, the shape of the path where you are currently. So this is the path, and you want to be perpendicular to the path with these handles. Something like that. Let's see. So currently this is all good. This is also still good. And this is fine. Yeah, it's not too good. This one needs to be moved back a little bit. And this one needs to be a lot smaller. I want this this huge handle to only appear in the last few frames, because there it is actually necessary to do that. Actually, let's go one frame in front before this actually all forms, and put this one over here, and put this handle just like this, something like this. This one is small as well. So it looks like it just goes there, and then all of a sudden it covers the entire thing. We could actually move this up a little bit to make sure that it actually looks more natural. So yeah, that's the E done. The X we can do in several different ways. I guess we're going to do it a little more creatively than I initially said. We're going to make it into yeah, let's say a circular expansion. We can actually make it into a circle expansion. It's actually not bad. So go to the middle of the X, hold Shift and Control, and just make this well, this circle. It doesn't really matter how big it is, because we're not going to use it for that, or well, we're not going to use it as such. We're going to do the mask expansion, I guess. So how much time did I put between these two? Half a second? Yeah, half a second. So half a second after the 5-second mark, we are going to go to this, set the mask expansion to 0. Well, not actually 0, to make sure that this is 0, so it's minus 43. And we are going to go forward 2 seconds. 5:15, so 7:15. At 7:15, we need something like this. Don't mind the T, we're going to cut that off in a moment. So yeah, at this point we have the entire thing just covered in one go. It's that easy. It doesn't have to be like super complex to make these things. Sometimes this just is good enough. And if you want to make it something fancier, you can go to well, some point in the last part, just make a point, make a keyframe and just drag it forward so that now the beginning goes slow. Sorry, the beginning goes fast and now the end goes slow. So yeah, you can vary it a little bit. You can also make sure that you do something like this, for example, and now the beginning will go slow, and then we have a very rapid expansion between this point and this point. Let's move it out a little bit, and then here it goes slow. So it's now slow, fast, slow. Now let's move it back. Actually looked good. So we only have the problem now that this T is in the loop. So very easy solution to that. You just pick up your pen tool. You just select whatever region you don't want, and then you set that mask to subtract. And there you go. Now we're done. It no longer shows up. So yeah, very, very easy way to do that. We're going to go to 8 seconds now, and then we're going to do the T. And the T could be something, I don't know. I really don't know what to do with this. Let's just wipe it from top to bottom. We haven't done that yet. We did the T from bottom to top. This one kind of as a flurry, and this one from middle outwards. We can do middle outwards here as well, but we're going to do top to bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure they're all in the black. Oh, I don't know why it closed already, but it did. So yeah, this mask, we're going to go to the mask path, set a keyframe for it, make sure, as I said, that it's in the black. And by the way, this will show up in the area we just cut out, because the mask is underneath the subtract mask. So don't worry about that, that will all be fine. From 8 to 10 seconds then, we are going to go over here to the bottom, drag it out a little bit, maybe set it in the middle of the letter, and just set it up like that. Maybe set these even over here already, so that we make sure that that the sides are covered as well. And now we can fill in the details. So halfway through, what do we want? We want, for example, halfway through to be over here, and to already be doing these side things. So halfway through we've done the side things, but we're still high up on the letter itself. Yeah, okay, like that, and then this one will just wipe on for the rest. Let's set some something in here. Make sure that it's in the middle. Something like that. Okay, now let's adjust this a little bit, because we don't want it to wipe on like this. That looks terrible. So halfway through, we want this to be over here somewhere already, and these to be like right there and there. Just want to be a little bit bigger, well, quite a lot bigger actually. I don't want them to interfere with the top part. So currently it is just going to wipe on. This one needs to be out here. Since I now already set where they're going to end up, all I want to do is make sure that they don't hit the letter at the wrong moment. So here, this is still a problem. It already reveals what I don't want revealed. So let's fix that very easily by making this into a few very small handles. That way it will not reveal as much. Well, I need to change them here as well, of course. Just make them very small. Make sure that we are kind of in the middle here. And let's zoom in a little bit so that we can see what we're doing. So currently, yeah, it's kind of still revealing here and then unrevealing here. So yeah, we do want to address that a little bit. I don't know, something like that should be good enough. So, and then here we can just wipe it on like that. It looks fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but it looks okay. And then the last piece is going to be like just fast and easy. So we can make it even faster in the beginning, so like it's trying to catch up because it's feeling that it's behind. So now it's going to be very fast and then slow in the end, just like with the X. We can also do that over here when it's a little bit further on. That would actually be even better, I think. Something like that. And now move both of them up a little. So it's going to be fast and then even faster and then slow for the end. Okay, so now that we have this, what are we going to do with it? Well, first of all, we're going to remove this layer. Well, just set it to this and watch what it looks like. So 0 on the keypad, and hopefully, oh, right, I have to set it not from current time, but from the beginning. Fit up to 100%. And this is what it looks like. There's still some things to work out, but in general it looks okay. There's some issues here with the E. We're going to look at those first. I guess, yeah, the T also has some sharp edges here on the not what I wanted. This one is the one I wanted here, but that looks okay. It's not too much of a problem. However, the E, and you will see it right there, it will, yeah, oh, there, it's in the top part. I knew it was one of the two sides, but yeah, there. So we're going to edit that a little bit because that is not supposed to happen, obviously. Yeah, it's between this point and the next, and it is caused by the right side point being just smacked from this, well, back to this side, and it should be easy to fix. I can just make it like that, and then it should be fixed. Yeah, it still has a little bit of a hiccup right here. Yeah, we're already there. Oh, and here. Wow, actually quite a lot of them. Yeah, I don't want to go over the line there, because this line is actually revealing, so I want to keep in this little black part that is still here. I don't want to cross this line, because then it will reveal extra stuff, and that is not what we want. So currently this is all good. And here it goes wrong again. Come on, guys. Don't annoy me. You know what I'm trying to do. So yeah, it keeps staying in the region where I want it to, and that is good. The other side seems to be good anyway. Seems to not give any problems. Yeah. Okay, so that is fixed. And then we had, well, no trouble with the X, obviously, because the X is like super simple. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong. With the T, yeah, I kind of don't like it that this one isn't revealed when the other one is revealed. So I'm going to try to fix that by just putting this a little bit lower. And hopefully that will do the trick. So now they're both getting revealed at just about the same time. Let's put it out a little bit further. Nope. I don't want your help. I can do this myself. Program always tries to think for you. So cute. Okay. Yeah, that looks better. So yeah, quite a mess of masks, but that's quite all right. We can definitely manage that. So what we now want to do is we made this text to be kind of flexible and to be able to, well, turn it inward. And we're going to use that to our advantage, obviously. So let's first of all take the text comp here, duplicate it, and it's now text2. So let's delete this one. And text2 is going to be imported here. Well, actually, let's just do it differently. Let's do it the way it should be done. We duplicate this one, then we take text2, we hold Alt, and we drop it on top of here. And now what we have is we have the exact same text comp with the exact same masks, as you can see. The thing is, we can now edit this to actually do something to make sure that we have a different effect here. So for example, let's say we wanted the expansion. That's what I said initially, right? So we want the expansion to be -10. I don't know if that's enough. I think it's enough. Except for the subtract mask that's here, we want it to be +10 there. So +10. Because it works the other way. So this looks fine. And now we're going to see what that actually does. Obviously we want a different color so that we can see the effect. That would be nice. Solid settings. Just change it to something a little bit darker, I guess. Not too dark. We have several layers to go, so there you go. And then here you can see the effect. And it also has the same wipe on it. But the trick is, we don't have to use the same timing. We can just pick up this entire layer and say we move it over a few seconds. In this case, 3 seconds. So it wipes on the first one, and then while the E is going on, it will wipe on the second one, and then you can see what it does, right? We can wipe on layer after layer after layer, creating more and more different colors. And currently it's all gray, but for those of you who've never, well, those of you who've already seen some of my tutorials know what's going to happen. Those of you who've never seen anything, I'm going to use curves to make different colors out of these different gray tones. And that is going to be super easy. And if you want to know how that works exactly, then go watch my curves tutorial, which is actually the video before this one, but I know that in a little while that will not mean anything to anyone. So I'm just saying, it's in my beginners tutorials. Yeah, don't be fooled by those. Those are still useful for the more advanced users. Anyhow, text 3 then, we are going to go into here and we're going to go to mask, go to select everything, go to the expansion, set it to -20, except for the subtract mask once again, which is going to be 20, and then go to the layer solid settings, set this to a little bit darker again. There you go. And then we're going to immediately do that again, because we know what's going on. Let's go to layer solid settings, and then this. Okay. Masks, select all masks. -30 and +30. So it's getting close to being not text at all anymore. I think we need one more to round it off. Text 5. Oh. Solid settings, and we're going to choose something that's even darker. Hit the masks. Hit the expansion, -40. Actually, we're still capable of seeing them, so we might actually be able to do one more. This is 40. Yeah, you can see that most of the E has already disappeared, some of the X has disappeared, some of the T. Yeah, we might be able to do one more. So let's just do it and see what's left of the text after that. So first of all, select solid settings, set it to something even darker. It's still visible against the black, so that's excellent. It will be on top of the lighter color, so it doesn't matter how dark it actually is. Masks, expansion -50, and then make this one into 50. And I think that's it. I think there's not enough left. Maybe here and there there's enough left, but we'll see. We'll just try it, and I'm thinking that nothing will be left at this point. So text 7. Let's just go to the masks straight away. -60. And yeah, there's a little bit left here. So actually, we could use it. And this one obviously needs to be even darker, maybe just black. Something like that. And yes, there's still something there. It's super small, but you will notice it eventually. Okay, let's put in these others. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to just drop them on there with Alt and drop, and next one Alt, drop. Nope, oh, you have to select them, of course. Alt, drop, 5, Alt, drop, 4, Alt, drop, 3, Alt, drop, and 2 is already there. So yeah, you can see the effect now. It becomes kind of a cool text effect, and it is definitely easy to create. I don't know what's happening here. Oh yeah, well, I guess it's logical that we get these kind of things. You have one here as well. I think it looks cool. It's a little bit of work, but it definitely is worth the hassle. So yeah, we're going to move them forward by not random amounts, but varying amounts, just to make sure that that there is some variation in our stuff. And let's see what it looks like. So this is just a loading part. This is not real time. Let me show it a little bit better. It's still loading, and after it will do it at full speed, at normal speed, I should say. But yeah, I'm wondering what it looks like. Okay, so it's actually not bad. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot I would want to change. There are some things that you can change, by the way. If you, for example, would like to... currently I'm going left to right because I have all the same things. If you wanted to go with right to left for one of them, so for example for this one, I would like to go right to left, you can just right click it, go to time reverse layer, and now it will do the exact opposite of what it was doing. The thing is, you do need to make sure that you, yeah, there you go. It will show straight away and then wipe it off. That's kind of a problem, but you can actually adjust that so that it does it, well, the correct way. I'm not going to demonstrate that. I'm just saying you can go from right to left if you want to. But yeah, you have to time reverse the layer or something similar. So all in all, I think this was a very decent way to make your text appear, or well, whatever you want. But we're not done yet. We are going to make the final composition, the final design. There you go, 1280, 720, 30 frames per second, 30 seconds. And we're going to put comp1 into here. And this is just the same thing, obviously. So let's create a background. That's what we're first going to do. New, solid, whatever color. I like to go with the gray. Not that it matters at all, because we're going to go to generate. We're going to generate a 4-color gradient. We're going to do gray tones here, because, well, everything is gray, and we will color it with the rest of the animation. So currently they're all relatively light, and I'm going to just mess them up a little bit, just so we don't have a super boring thing here. I don't know, something like this. Okay, this is okay, I guess. We can set the blend a little bit lower so that we get kind of a different effect. Here you can see that well, everything gets blended together. I like it when it's not too blended. And you can of course set the opacity a little bit lower if it's too bright, because it has a black background. So yeah, there's that. Anyhow, now for the important part. We are going to add a new layer. Select the composition, new adjustment layer, and we're going to put the curves on there. There you go. Put it on the adjustment layer, and we are going to, well, reveal our text first. There you go. Let's say we want something bluish and greenish. So we're going to just create something blue in the low colors. There aren't a lot of low colors, so I should probably reverse that, because I do want the blue in there. There you go, blue. And now let's put in some green. Overall green would be good. Let's take out the red so that it doesn't distort it as much. The green, of course, should be maybe something like this. No. We have to take care of the fact that most of our colors are in the low spectrum. I didn't really take a good... just make 2 points, guys. I didn't really take care of the fact that I should have gone with all of the colors should be like all over the place. So I should go from virtually white to virtually black with my colors, and I took everything to be, well, kind of in the same range, and that is not what I wanted. So something like this, the red is still pretty heavily in there. Well, I actually don't mind the red too much. So I need to make the curve something like this if I want to have a green contrast curve. Yep. For the blue the same, I need to be way more over here. It's way too bright. Yes, I did realize that. Good, right? That I realized that. Oh, so awesome. So yeah, let's see what we can do with what we have here. Actually, I didn't dislike something like this. It's a little less flashy, but it's kind of nice. Although, yeah, the flashy is also nice. So yeah, the red can actually add some more stuff to this. So yeah, you can see that the colors become a little bit different here. But there is still a lot of light in the background, so we can actually up the background color back. So let's set the background color to be, well, just that. And then we can use the fact that we now have light colors in the background but nowhere else to our advantage by making sure that we do something like this. Actually the edge here is still light, so the edge will color with the background, which is a shame, not what I wanted. But yeah, you can make the background a completely different color with this. I'm going to undo a couple. I guess this is acceptable. It's not great coloring, but I guess it's okay. So the background for me a little bit too bright still. Tune it down. And let's see what it actually looks like. I don't actually love the way the E shapes up. We can fix that, by the way. We could have fixed that way earlier, but I think I'm just going to explain to you how it works and not bother with the rest. The X is actually pretty cool. It's a simple effect, but it's effective, so that's good. So yeah, how you normally would should have done this. Oh, let's see the actual speed. Yeah, it kind of looks nice. It's a little bit slow in the end, so we could actually speed up the last few things. But how you should have done the E is you should just mask off this first part. So let's go to the E. Let's actually do this. Text. So you should mask off this part of the E. So make it just a subtract mask. I don't know where I actually made this. Something like here, right? Or I don't know where my text is. There it is. Well, no, that's not actually. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know where it is. It's not on screen here, which is kind of strange. Normally, if I zoom out, I can at least see where it is. But yeah, I guess it disappeared. Let's go to another one. Okay, they're all like this. Excellent. Yeah, how to explain that then? Okay, this is actually where I made it. So the this part of the E could be just let's go to the first one only. Let's do it like this. So I could just put a mask on here. Don't worry, I'm still working on it. Come on, only this one. Something like this. Actually, yeah, something like this. And then I make that into a subtract mask. And then you can immediately see how that should work. Yeah, let's put it actually on the one where I intended it. So this will subtract from the first part of the E. So it will make this line just much nicer, and then of course you can overwrite it with the second mask if you put it in the right position. Currently it's not in the right position, but it needs to be between the second and third mask, something like that. Yeah, so currently it's a little bit sloppy, obviously, because I did it in like 2 seconds. But yeah, you can see here how it would work. So it would cut off this entire part, making sure that you can never overcolor it, and then the other mask will just draw over it, and making that this actually looks better. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show. Oh, come on, should have just deleted it, I guess. So yeah, the rest of the text effect I think is done at this point. Although I'm still pretty sure I could do with some different colors. But there it is. See, I knew it was somewhere. So I could actually do with some different colors, and yeah, I'm going to do that well after I'm done here. But yeah, I'm going to set a little bit better colors for my coloring tool, and I will show you the result right now. No, after this video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.